Hello learners, welcome to the class again. This is the official YouTube channel of the Department of English, Government College Sirohi, and I am your teacher Renuka Verma. So we were doing the poem Ode to the West Wind, and so far we have done Canto 1 and Canto 2. In this video we will discuss the Canto 3. So let's begin with the stanza 1 of the Canto 3. Thou who didst waken from his summer dreams the blue Mediterranean, where he lay, lulled by the coil of his crystalline streams. So the speaker here is describing that the wind is having waken up the Mediterranean Sea from a whole summer of peaceful rest. So the west wind has woken up the Mediterranean Sea from a peaceful rest, and the sea here is also personified, which was wakened from a long sleep by the west wind. Then in stanza 2, beside the Pumic Isle in biased bay, and so in sleep old palaces and towers, quivering within the waves' intenser day. So in the second stanza, the speaker is implying that the sea was dreaming of the old days of palaces and towers. So when the wind was at rest, the sea is personified as a man who is dreaming of the old days of palaces and towers, and that he was quivering at the memory of an intenser day. And again he was also thinking, he was shivering at the memory of an intenser day when the wind will blow. So the sea is silent, he is dreaming of the old days of palaces and towers, but still he is apprehended of the coming wind, of the coming intenser day when the west wind will begin to blow. Then in stanza 3, all overgrown with azure moss and flowers, so sweet the sense faints picturing them, thou, for whose path the Atlantic's level powers. So again the sea is being described here as sleeping in the wintry days, and the speaker continues to describe the sea's dreams as being of slower days when everything was overgrown with blue moss and flowers. When the west wind does not blow, what happens? The sea is overgrown with blue moss and flowers. Then he hints that something is about to change when he mentions to Atlantic powers, when the Atlantic powers will come to their own, and then when the west wind will begin to blow, the whole scenario will change. The scenario of the seas sleeping and dreaming and overgrowing with blue moss and flowers, all this scenario is going to be changed when the west wind will begin to blow. Then in stanza 4 and 5, cleave themselves into chasm while far below the sea blooms and the oozy woods which wear the sapless foliage of the ocean know thy voice, and suddenly grow grey with fear, and tremble and despoil themselves, oh, hear. So the whole scenario, in the previous stanza, the speaker talked about the way the sea is sleeping, it's all silent and peaceful, and it is overgrowing with blue moss and flowers, and the sea is described as dreaming of old palaces and towers, and again sea is also described as being apprehended of the coming change which the wind will bring. So in the stanza 4 and 5, the speaker again referring to the sea's reaction to the power of the wind. At the first sign of the strong wind, the sea seems to cleave into chasm and grow grey with fear as they tremble at the power of the wind. So the sea seems to get ready in front of the chasm of the wind. And in stanza, he reflects a psalm in the worship of a god so mighty that nature itself trembles in its sight. So again the sea is apprehended of the powerful change which the west wind is going to bring with it, and he says that the sea cleaves themselves into chasm while far below the sea blooms and oozy woods which wear the sapless foliage of the ocean. So know thy voice and suddenly grow grey with fear. So the sea which was sleeping and dreaming silently, it again suddenly it grows grey with fear when the wind is about to blow. and tremble and despoil themselves with, oh, here. So when the sea hears the sound of the approaching wind, it trembles with fear, and the the scenario of the marine life starts to change. So, in this stanza, or in this Canto 3, we see the personification of the sea, as well as the power and the apprehension that the west wind brings upon the natural phenomena. So, go through the Canto again. Enough for today. Thank you.